If I had to move to a different state, this trip might have just solidified that it'd be Montana. Everywhere you go, it feels like a small town. I get the sense there's an infinite amount of interesting conversations to have at the bars on the side of the road. And as a photographer who enjoys capturing the outdoors, I can think of few better places to spend a lifetime doing just that. I wasn't sure if I was going to end up making a video about this trip, but after seeing my film scans, I figured that it'd be worthwhile to show some of my favorite images that I've taken in quite a while. One of which very well could be in my top 3 favorite photos I've ever shot. Logan, Bryan, Emma, Alicia and I started things off in Yellowstone, which is the 8th largest national park in the US and 2nd biggest outside of Alaska. I'll preface this section of the video by saying that Yellowstone was not our primary destination on this trip. We were more so going to Montana to visit Glacier National Park, but we decided to pop into Yellowstone for a half a day to check it out. I've never seen this type of geothermal landscape in person before. The various colors and textures of the hot springs are quite unique and very interesting to photograph. And I suppose a trip to Yellowstone wouldn't be complete without a stop at Old Faithful. I ended up just taking photos of other spectators viewing the geyser through their cell phones, which made for some entertaining images. As I mentioned, our main focus for this trip was Glacier National Park, which truthfully wasn't even on my radar until about 3 years ago. Shortly after entering the park, you start to get glimpses of all the giant peaks you're surrounded by. The drive along the McDonald Creek is quite pleasant, and there's many areas to pull off to view the various cascading features of the longest river in Glacier.
Water so still, and my pain has gone away. Much cleaner after it rains. Follow my love, the sentence in spring air. Follow the moon into the sun. There's a call for new beginnings here, but the sorrow of yester disappear. Let your body be new.
As you continue to drive up the Going to the Sun road, the views really start to open up, and you'll find yourself in the heart of one of the most stunningly beautiful mountain ranges on Earth. I found the scale of these peaks really hard to comprehend, and the formations of some of the mountains were unlike anything I had ever seen before. Needless to say, I was very eager to start photographing this breathtaking location.
Past is past. Let me leave what belongs in the past. Road ahead is quite unclear. Let me walk it despite fear. The road stretches over the hills.
Just like on the majority of my recent travels and outdoor experiences, I opted for my trusty Mamiya 7.2 with the 43 and 65mm lenses. The 43mm still continues to grow on me after every trip I take it on. I was shooting a mix of Portra 400 and Gold 200 and got great results from both. However, I think it's hard to beat Gold, especially at its current price.
Is your life faded more than you know? A state of mind to set on fear, the ends uncertain, future's near. Follow voices from below. Wherever I go.
We made our way over Logan Pass and decided to do a short hike to St. Mary and Virginia Falls. Although this hike is only about 3.5 miles out and back, you get a good variety of scenery and great viewpoints of a few different waterfalls. And of course, the first day in Glacier wouldn't be complete without a proper cold plunge into the St. Mary River, which was delightfully refreshing.
There's dinner in the yard, out behind the cars. Tonight we're gonna do something different. I will make the things that I know how to make. You will make something more delicious. A sweet potato pie on a flimsy paper plate. Baby, I don't think it gets much better. There isn't much to keep. We lay down and fall asleep till the morning comes around to find love. I still keep with me these little memories. The ones that stick around are the most bittersweet.
We decided to hang around for sunset on this first day in the park in hopes that the clouds would open up and we'd get some golden sunlight pouring through the valley. Luckily, we ended up getting just that. We posted up at Paradise Meadow, which overlooks Mount Oberlin, and watched as the sunlight came raging up from the valley floor. It was just one of those moments that didn't quite feel real, and also the moment in which I realized that this might be the most beautiful place I've ever been.
It's been so long, barely holds together. You can't really say.
I mentioned earlier that I came away from this trip with possibly one of my favorite photos I've ever taken, and that's this one right here. It's an environmental portrait of Logan that I think turned out incredibly well. I shot this at f4 on the 65mm lens, which compressed the background ever so slightly, and on 6x7 format, f4 is still a wide enough aperture to get a bit of shallow depth of field even when your subject is a ways away from the camera. I think this photo will be a fun one to look back on way down the road. For our last day in Glacier, we woke up early for a sunrise hike to Hidden Lake, which is a very popular hike right at the top of Logan Pass. The morning light was poking through some faint cloud coverage, and the beginning section to the lake overlook featured surrounding peaks, vast meadows, and small streams. It was a perfect morning to take some photos and breathe in that cool mountain air.
The ones that stick around are the most bittersweet. I know it's getting late, and Life is full of such mistakes, but I was hoping that you might wanna talk to me.
Point the camera. Alright guys, so pray for a good exposure.
Once we got to the lake overlook, Bear Hat Mountain revealed itself, providing an exceptional view. These images, which I shot on the 43mm lens, are some of my favorites from the trip. The light rays casting from the left side of the frame down onto the lake with Bear Hat Mountain off to the right and a grassy meadow in the foreground makes for quite the composition. Bryan, Logan, and I capped off our time in Glacier with our traditional head dunk. And just like that, our annual photo trip came to an end. These trips are always extremely refreshing for me, as I'm not always surrounded by people who share similar creative interests. Glacier blew any expectations I had out of the water, and I'm already eager to return to hike more of the trails and capture more of its beauty. But for now, we'll continue to see what the Cascade Mountains in Washington have to offer. Squarespace is the best in the business when it comes to building a new website. Whether you're a photographer, artist, musician, or starting a new business, Squarespace has all the tools you need to get a professional website up and running. I recently hosted an entire online photography gallery that featured 100 photographers from around the world on my personal website, and that's all thanks to Squarespace. The website building interface is extremely intuitive and absolutely zero coding is necessary. They have a ton of fantastic templates to choose from, and from there you can begin to further customize the look and feel of your site to make it unique to you. On top of that, they have great e-commerce tools that let you keep track of orders, inventory, customers, offer memberships, and more. And with fantastic customer service, you're always in the clear if you ever need help along the way. If you'd like to receive 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, head over to squarespace.com/Brae or use code Brae at checkout to do so.